every time she came and saw me on Wednesday, she would say she felt like she was gonna be killed tonight and that somebody was after her. And I said, Katie, who's after you?
This is 36-year-old Aaron Major regarding the murder of his pregnant wife, Katie.
Can you remember what they told you?
That River had drowned or was in the water, and that Katie got hit by the train. I mean, that's kind of all I really knew. And her car was parked somewhere on Oakley Road.
On the cold, rainy morning of January 17th, 2008, railroad workers in Moncks Corner discovered Katie's body lying alongside the train tracks, with a deep cut on her abdomen and leg, while Dollar was found drowned in a nearby creek. The local coroner quickly ruled Katie's death ASC, concluding she had jumped in front of a train with her baby in her arms. But Katie's mother, Vicki Hall, never believed that. Her daughter had packed a diaper bag and a bottle that night. A key witness who claimed to have seen Katie walking the tracks was proven false. A radio broadcast that Aaron said first alerted him to the discovery of the bodies had never actually aired. In the end of this video, you will find the conclusion.
Sorry, man, it took me so long. Okay. You want anything to drink, anything before we get started? Listen, I know you've had to tell this story time and time again. But I'm going to ask you to tell us what's going on, if you don't mind. And also, if you don't mind, why don't you just start from how y'all met, how you and Katie met?
I started school in 9th grade for high school at Northwoods Academy, off of Toronto Road in North Charleston, and we're going there. I met Katie just within the first semester of school there via some friends saying that they thought we should go on a date or whatever, and we did. And from the first date, we just kind of hit it off, and we were like best friends and pretty much inseparable from that.
How old were you then?
I think I was 16.
And how old was she?
She would have been 18.
Oh, okay.
She was a senior and I was a freshman. So after that, she went to Trent Tech, and then I, finished school at Northwoods. And once I graduated Northwoods, that's when we got married. The end of that summer.
Now, when you guys were, how long did you guys date?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, actually, I went to Trent Tech for a year, and then, because I got my, the base courses out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that at Trent Tech, and then once I got all that mess done, that's when we decided to get married, because, we didn't want to be apart, and I would have been at Clemson and she would have been in Charleston. So, got that out of the way, got married, and then moved up to Clemson, rented a little duplex house up there, lived there for about a year, and then realized I couldn't find a degree I really liked, and I like to work with my hands. So Katie's father, he's been a painting contractor for a long time, and he took me under his wing and showed me, the trade. So that's what I've been doing ever since. I guess we lived at O.T. Wallace in Berkeley Country Club for 2 years, and we sold that house, and then we moved to where we are now, in Fairlawn. We've been there almost going on 2 years now.
And when you guys had children, did you plan it or it just happened?
Yeah, we planned it.
You planned it?
Yeah, she quit taking birth control, and we felt like it was time to start having kids. And then we had River, and we just, I don't know, Katie really liked being a mom, and she wanted to have a big family, because she had, you know, a fair-sized family. That's what she wanted, you know. She didn't want to just have one or two. She wanted to have, you know, at least four or something is what she'd always say. And so she was wanting, you know, we planned the second one too, actually, because she didn't want to be too old having kids, I guess. So she was trying to kind of, you know, she didn't want to be in her late 30s having kids. I mean, she wanted to have, you know, more than two or three, you know. So
Right. Anything, you know, since you guys have been together so long, that's been how many years now?
It's been about 9 years, I think.
9 years total.
Yeah.
So you guys knew each other fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout that, did she ever have any problems that make you think she was like paranoid, anything like that?
No, nothing paranoid at all. I mean, she was at Trident Tech, and she likes biology and stuff. She wanted to, you know, help people and be something in the medical field, and she'd learn about all the diseases, you know. And that was hard for her, because she actually had to quit doing that, because she'd get kind of, you learn about all the diseases and it kind of freak her out a little bit, you know.
Right.
Like, because a lot of the symptoms are all the same, and she didn't like learning about all that, because it was hard, you know. She'd get kind of worried that, you know,
That she might actually get something like that.
yeah, she kind of got anxiety about that, so she just quit that.
Did in the last few months, you notice any kind of change? Did anything different been going on? You guys had a good relationship. Anything different been going on lately?
No, and that's what's weird, because it just seemed like since just pretty much Monday, it was just like all of a sudden she just got real paranoid, and, you know, quit trusting people and stuff. Just kind of, it just started on Monday, and then on Tuesday it was a little worse. Like Tuesday we went to the doctor's office, and after we got out of there, she told me, I wanted you to come with me. Well, I mean, it's ultrasound too, and we're gonna see if it was a boy or not. But she wanted me to go with her, because she was afraid the doctor was gonna think she's crazy and take the children from her.
Why would she think that?
Because she thought that they would think, for some reason, she was paranoid about people thinking she was crazy and was going to take the kids from her. But I don't know.
When did that start?
That was just, the first time I heard anything like that was right after the doctor's office on Tuesday.
Why would, I mean, was anything going on that she believed somebody would think she's crazy for?
Well, all this stuff that she had been reading was making her paranoid that people were, like, I mean, she said she thought people were, like, listening to our phone calls and monitoring what she had researched on the internet, and basically, like, someone's kind of, I don't want to use the word, like, stalking her, but, like, surveillance type. She felt like people were, like, after her or something.
Did she say why?
Because she felt like she had discovered something that she wasn't supposed to, I guess.
Did she tell you what this discovery was supposed to be?
It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of complicated. Like, there's like those 9, I mean, it kind of is a lot of stuff together, I guess, to cause all this, but I guess the reason she felt like people were watching her, or not, I don't know, listening to her phone calls and all this stuff, was because she had read some stuff on that 9/11 truth thing, and how the government may have been involved in, you know, actually using explosives on the Twin Towers and all that kind of conspiracy stuff. So she felt like if the government's willing to kill thousands of innocent people, then they wouldn't have a problem with her, you know.
So she believes she had some evidence that the government
Yeah, something like that.
would want to kill her over.
Hmm.
Then this stuff that she was talking about, that you think there was any factual to it, or you?
Well, when she first, on Monday, she had researched a lot during the day, and I'd come home from work and she'd tell me something, and I was just, you know, just kind of like, well, you got to show me that or something, because I don't even know what you're talking about, and it just doesn't even make sense. And then the stuff she showed me, a lot of it, I'm not sure what I think about it yet, to tell you the truth, because it seems true based on what I saw, but I hadn't had a chance to really dig into it since, you know, to actually see what I really think. So I don't know. I don't really know yet.
Okay.
I'm still kind of, I don't know.
So she told you this on Monday or Tuesday
No,
after
Monday she started researching all this stuff, and then Tuesday it started getting paranoid. Just the first time I heard anything about being paranoid of people was, I'm pretty sure it was after that doctor's office was the first time.
And you know, after you left the doctor's office, did anything happen that night, or was it kind of?
No, she had just learned some more stuff, and she showed me when I got home, and I'm a painting contractor, and I've been real busy. I get up at 5:45, and I get home 6:30 or, 6, and eat dinner, and I just kind of, she showed me something, and I looked at it and read for maybe an hour, and I just like, okay, that's all I can take tonight, and I went to bed, and just, and then Wednesday, I don't even think she was looking anything up, she said, because she dropped into my work at least 4 times on Wednesday. She came around mid-morning because she said she didn't want to be in the house because she felt like being in the house was a way that she wasn't safe there because the phone and it linked her to all this stuff, I guess. The house did. You see what I'm saying?
Now, and she felt like the government was the one that was doing this, or was?
Well, I'd ask her, I said, because on Wednesday, but every time she came and saw me on Wednesday, she would say she felt like she was going to be killed tonight and that somebody was after her. And I said, Katie, who's after you? And she's like, I don't know, Satan's after me, or she didn't know.
Here we see the pillar of paranoid delusion, grandiosity, the belief that you possess secret, dangerous knowledge that powerful forces want to suppress. In her case, it was conspiracy theories, but the content is almost irrelevant. What matters psychologically is the shift from, I read something interesting, to, they will kill me for knowing this. This is the mind creating a narrative where the self becomes the protagonist in a life-threatening thriller.
Did she mention religion during all this stuff, other than Satan?
Well, she felt like God was telling her to flee to protect the kids and herself, is what she was saying. So the whole day, she's trying to get me to quit work and just literally just right there, just drop everything and then leave and don't come back.
To leave town forever?
I don't know. I couldn't get her to, she didn't know.
She just wanted you to leave, though.
Yeah. She
Okay.
wanted me to just drop what I was doing, and I told her I can't. I got my job's on the line here, and I got employees I got to pay and responsibilities. And I got her. She kept coming and wanting me to do that. Kept coming. I kept getting her to calm down a little bit and then just chill out, as best I could. And then around 5 o'clock, she was getting really kind of frantic or whatever about leaving, and I got her just barely to wait until I got done working at the end of the day. And I got my employee to finish the rest of the stuff, and I rode back to the Hall's house with Katie in the truck, and I met my employee there just to have some time with her in the car to try to figure out what's going on, I guess. And the whole time she's not wanting to go home. And I was like, Katie, I've got, before we go or whatever, wherever we're going, because she didn't know where she was going or who was after her, really. It was just, she was just really really, really paranoid at that time.
Was she getting angry or anything, or she?
No, she was just, I mean, she was like shaking, like scared. She was scared. Not angry or mad or anything. She's scared.
Now, did you let her know that you believed her, or
Well,
did that ever come into question?
I mean, like on Monday and Tuesday, pretty much was like I didn't feel like there was anything wrong. I just felt like, we need to, yeah, we'll look into this stuff or whatever. And as far as I see, yeah, I think I'm on the same page with you with some of this stuff, and I didn't, just need some time to process it and research it and look into this or whatever. And but on Wednesday she was out of the house all day. She wasn't researching anything, and she just started taking like random events and started in her mind putting it together in this puzzle or whatever you want to call it. She started pulling.
Can you give me an example of what random events you're talking?
Like she said something about how, I don't remember the song Wednesday. This might have been earlier in the week, but just to give you an example, some person from Hillary Clinton's campaign or something had called her house and said, "Are you going to vote for Hillary Clinton?" And she said she told him yes because she doesn't like Hillary Clinton, but she just was scared. I guess to her that was proving that someone was surveilling her or whatever because I don't.
She thought somebody was watching her because these people from Hillary's campaign
Well,
called.
she was already kind of paranoid about that, and then they called, and then she felt like they didn't say they were with the campaign. They just said something like, "You're basically, are you voting for Hillary Clinton or something like that?"
Gotcha.
Um, I don't know. I don't know, stuff like that. She just kind of would take something and just run with it and wouldn't back up and think about it. I guess.
Right.
Uh,
So, if I'm understanding you right, where we basically left off was she came to your workplace. You got in the car with her about 5 on the evening that she left, and you didn't see her anymore.
it was I quit work closer to 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I got done around 6, I believe. And from there, I left my employee with my work truck,
Mm-hmm.
and I rode in her truck, and we went up to Goose Creek, went to Captain D's. She wouldn't eat anything. She said she can't eat because she's so upset or whatever. So I had to eat something. So I went to Captain D's. I ate my dinner on the way back to the Hall's house, and then when we got to the Hall's house, Derek pulled up in my truck, and I got in my truck, take my truck home. And then she followed me. I mean, I saw her behind me the whole. She came right to the house.
Right.
We got in the front door, and that's about as far as she'd go into the house because she did not want to be there.
At all.
No, because she felt like it was dangerous.
Okay.
So I don't know how. I might have tried to. I just sat there and I was trying to talk some sense to her, and get her to calm down and back up, and she just couldn't let go of this thing.
About what time do you think it was? Did she ever call her mom on your phone, or did she ever call anybody the whole time you all were together? That from 6 o'clock up to the point you got to the house.
From the point I left work to go into,
Mm-hmm.
until we got not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did you have your phone with you while you were going from the Hall's house to your house, or did she have your phone?
I'm trying to remember because at one point in time that's when I knew something was wrong, and something was she was just kind of something was wrong because she's never been paranoid. She started being paranoid about me, and she's like acting like I don't believe her, and because I don't believe her, I'm against her, and she was afraid I had called her mom and that they were gonna like take the kids from her or something because somehow everybody's involved in this huge
Conspiracy.
yeah.
Now, was this before you got to the house or after you got to the house?
I think it started when we were at the apartment complex. I actually gave her my phone for a minute, and I said, here, you can look, through my caller ID and prove for yourself I hadn't called your mom or anybody, and I'm not calling anybody to come get the kids on you or nothing. And she started, late that day is when it really I got worried about her, and I gave her my phone, I think while I was in the shower. I mean, she didn't take it with her though, just to let her look at it, so to prove that I'm not lying to her.
Okay, well, all right, so you got her to the house.
Mhm.
We kind of flipping back and forth, but I wanted to cover a
Yeah.
couple things. So prior to you leaving, prior to you leaving work, she'd already kind of acting like she was suspicious of you
Mhm.
because you didn't come out and say, hey, I believe everything you're saying or whatever.
Mhm.
So then she thought you might have called her mom and that everybody was conspiring to take her children.
Mhm.
Am I understanding all this right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then y'all ate, drove to the halls, drove to your house. She didn't want to come in.
Mhm.
And you said you were talking to her in the doorway. What happened
Yeah.
then?
Okay, I'm talking to her in the doorway, and she felt like I was trying to keep her at the house by talking to her, because I was trying to get her just to sit down for a minute, and I said, let me, hear you out. Sit down and talk to me and let me hear you out so I can see what I didn't even know what she's really talking about at this time. She's just, I was having a hard time understanding. So I don't know, we might have talked for an hour in that entrance to the house, and River's just playing on the floor and whatnot, and so I got worried, and she got more and more like paranoid about me and started completely not trusting me at all. And that's when I was like, because I wasn't planning on skipping town, or you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
really leaving. And she felt like I was trying to keep her there. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna get in the shower, I'm gonna pay my employee real quick, and then I'm gonna go with you and we'll drive around all night or do whatever you want to do, because I knew something was wrong, because she's just really shaking, scared, and I didn't know what was going on. So that's when I finally got her to calm down. She said, I'm gonna make River a bottle. She started getting River's diaper bag ready, and because we're gonna, go out for the night or whatever and drive around and just talk this out. So she agreed to let me get in the shower, and she said she'd wait on me. So I went upstairs, started, in our bedroom, straight down the hall is River's bedroom, and she was up there. I'm pretty sure she put River in the crib she said she was gonna go make a bottle to get ready to
Mm-hmm.
go. So that's the last thing she said to me. And I asked her again, I said, you're gonna wait for me, aren't you? And she said, yeah. So she went downstairs and made a bottle, and I got in the shower, and then about halfway through the shower, I didn't know, I wasn't sure it was her truck cranking up, but I heard something like that,
Mm-hmm.
while I was in the shower. So I got out of the shower, looked out the window, and her truck was gone. So I got dressed, got in my truck, tried to find her.
Did you do anything else at the house before you left? Did you pay your employees, or you just left?
I left at that point. Yeah, I left and went, after and tried to find her. It might have been 5 or 10 minutes before I got out of the shower, dried off, and put my clothes on, and got in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drove around just in the central Moncks Corner areas, hotels. I checked hotels because I thought, well, she's not safe here. She's going to go to a hotel, and she's got, several $100s to just,
Where'd she get the money from?
We do a cash budget every week. So once a week, or sometimes once every 2 weeks, we'll get, a lump sum out to, delegate the budget out.
Mm-hmm.
So she had, earlier in the week, she got out, I think it's around $500 or so. And that's for the bills and the mortgage, and not the mortgage, no, we pay that with the check, but various food and everything, and we get $100 a piece every week. So she had a good bit of that money still in her purse, from what I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, because she was paranoid of being followed, so I figured she had that cash and she would be somewhere and
Okay.
just use cash so she wouldn't have to swipe the debit card or.
Speaking of that, did you use your debit card anytime that night? Put gas in the vehicle, anything? Or did you put gas in the vehicle that night? Anything like that?
I don't remember if it was that night or sometime the first of that week we filled up her truck with the debit card.
How about yours?
My truck I use business credit card or a Wells Fargo credit card or a business card on my truck.
Okay. Do you remember when the last time you filled that up prior to that night?
I don't know.
Could you have filled it up that night while you were out looking for her?
It's a possibility. I might have. Yeah, I don't remember.
If you did, what would you use to fill it up with?
Normally I would use the credit card.
Okay. All right. So again, I jumped you off track a little bit. So you rode around town looking for her, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I went just in the the Moncks Corner, Central, downtown, Berkeley Hotel, the various. And I was just like, man, this is just like a needle in a haystack. And anytime she's ever left before, she'd be back in 15 minutes to 30 minutes and perfectly, whatever, cooled off. And
Well, why has she left? Why has she left before?
she just get, I mean, I can't remember. Just, she got mad for some reason, or I don't know if it was that time of the month or whatever, and she just needed to, cool off or whatever. Or just.
So you guys are like most married couples. Y'all would argue on occasions.
I mean, if it was more or less just if maybe that time of the month or one of us is really, really tired or just crabby stuff, not like we never had arguments like argue over something, just stupid stuff.
Ever been physical with each other?
No, just, I mean, nothing like hitting her or nothing, just nothing abusive or anything.
Okay. So she uses that as her, when she argues, she would leave for a few minutes and come back.
A few times, and
Okay.
she'd be back just, I don't even know if she'd get out of the neighborhood, to tell you the truth. I mean, she'd just, and, she'd be like, okay, it's stupid,
I need to train my wife to do that. Because she'll stay there and raise hell till it drives me crazy. But anyway,
Yeah.
listen. So you rode around for a while. And it was a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, needle in a haystack, that's exactly. So I sat there in the Bilo shopping center for a minute, and I was just trying to think, I don't know, trying to figure this out, I guess. And I was like, I'm just going to go home because she's going to be back just like before, And that's when I did Derek's payroll.
About what time do you think you got home? Did you look at the clock when you came in?
I don't know.
But it should be on the computer when you started doing the payroll.
Yeah, I got the payroll. It's still sitting in the office because I hadn't had the checkbook to pay him yet and stuff. But yeah, I got that. It's on QuickBooks. I got the thing printed out. Don't know. I mean, that was between 8 and 9 somewhere when I first left the house, I guess, somewhere. And so I don't know. It might have been, I'm just guessing, between 9 and 10,
Okay.
when I got back. I mean, I wasn't gone very long because I just got out there and I was like, figured she's going to be back, So I went back, took care of my stuff. I started looking over some of the stuff she had been, trying to remember some of the stuff she had shown me on the internet to try to figure out what's going on, I looked at that for several hours probably just trying to figure out what had happened. And when she hadn't been back after a couple of hours, that's when I was like, okay. I didn't know what was going on because this is just completely abnormal for her. So I went out and drove around again, and this time I went everywhere that I could think of around the area except for North Charleston, because she hates North Charleston, and to her, North Charleston's kind of like the scary ghetto area, I guess. So I know she wasn't going to get a hotel down there when she's scared. So I went down through Goose Creek, around back. I'm not real super familiar with Somerville, so I went through Ladson and tried to kind of make a big swoop through Somerville, back 17A and that area. I found all them hotels there at the interstate, drove around all of them, trying to find her truck. Drove around all the hotels I could find in Goose Creek prior to that. And then I just, came back 17A, Cyrus Garner's Road and all that. Checked anything I could think of in those main, this area surrounding, figuring she's going to be at a hotel because she just doesn't want to be here. So, and then I went back to the house because I thought she'd be there. I was thinking she's going to be there, when she wasn't there, that's when I went down to the Hall's house directly and I woke them up.
Now, did you call home from time to time to see if she came back?
Yeah, and I called her cell phone just for the heck of it, maybe 1 or 2 times. I called the house several times, just hoping she'd be there and pick it up.
Got any idea what time it was when you got home? Before going to the halls, have any idea what time it was when you got to the halls?
I was out for however long, an hour and a half or 2 hours. I'm trying to think when I left our house. Because I was there waiting on her for a couple of hours, and that's when I got worried and I left. So I was gone for, it was getting later, around, it might have been an hour either side of midnight maybe, or somewhere around that time.
What time do you guys usually go to bed?
Normally, I go to bed around, no later than 11 normally, 10, normally 10:30 maybe.
What time does Katie go to bed?
She is normally, I think especially since she had kids too, she'll come to bed with me and then she'll get back up because it gives her a little time, because she's taking care of the baby all day, she gets up and cleans and anything that she wants to get done, a little personal time, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
So I don't really know. I'm a hard sleeper, so I just...
Does she get up with you in the morning?
No, I get up 5:45 and she'll get up whenever River gets up. It might be 7 or 8.
Gotcha. Okay. So you went to the halls.
And I told them all of this conspiracy stuff and everything that I could try to explain to them. And we figured that she was gonna be back, and we just were kind of waiting for her to check. We were gonna check hotels the next day and stuff, because we figured she's just, I don't know, we didn't really know, we were trying to sit down and just figure out what she would have done, So I don't know. I'm not even sure what time I left there. We were there for a while. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of blurry.
I understand.
I think I went to bed. I slept for about an hour and I got up at 5:45 again to start the day. So I was at their house for a little while, and I tried to wait up for a while because I was waiting on her, Slept for about an hour, woke up, she still wasn't there, and I was really worried.
Now this was the next day.
Okay. That morning. So I was just gonna Jeff called me and was asking me if, I wanted to go look for her. And I said, yeah. So I was going to set my employee up so we could get something done today. And I went to go get some money out of our savings envelopes for, just lunch or whatever. And that's when I opened the file cabinet and all the savings was gone. I believe there's two envelopes in there, my savings and her savings. And that's when I got worried, like, she's not coming back because she's got, I don't know exactly how much. I mean, she might have $500-600 cash to just hang out there with, and I didn't know how we were gonna really.
You guys have a credit card?
Yeah, we got a Wells Fargo and a Aspire Visa. So I was getting more worried. The more stuff that was kind of, the further it went along, the more I was kind of like, because it's complete. She's never been gone like this at all. So that's when I dropped my truck off at the halls. I sent my guy out, and me and Vicky, we set up Sarah at my house to wait in case she came back. Somebody would be there to talk to her, and we set somebody up at their house. And then Jeff, her dad, he went to work, and me and Vicky went around this kind of central area again, trying to just check stuff and then just figure out what she might have done, I guess. So then eventually we split up. She went down towards, I'm not sure exactly where she went, but down towards Goose Creek area, I think. And then I went up. I figured she's in Columbia or something, because we were going to take a trip to Highlands, North Carolina, because we used to live in Clemson, and she really loves it up there in the hills and everything. We were going to take a trip. We were going to take it this weekend, actually, but we realized that the Republican, you vote on this weekend, and she wanted to vote for that, so we were going to do it this coming weekend. So I figured, she just felt safer up there maybe, and she's in that area. So we had Fawn, Vicky's sister, call. I think she called Columbia, and Seneca, which is right there in the Clemson area where we used to live. And I actually came back to the house before we split up, and I tried to figure out which hotel she was planning on going to, which was like a needle in a haystack again. And I called, numerous hotels in Highlands, North Carolina, to try to see if she had checked in there, and just drove all night maybe, or whatever to get up there. And that was not working. So I was like, I'm just gonna I started driving towards Columbia and looking at gas stations and whatnot. And that's when I, on my way driving through Somerville, that's when I heard on talk radio, 94.3, that there had been a person and a young child hit by the train in Berkeley County, and I didn't even want to think about that, you know what I'm saying? I was just kind of I was worried, because they said a young child, and I just thought that was weird. And I called Vicky, and I told her that. So I just kept going where I was going, to try not to think that was her, you know what I'm saying? And then Vicky turned around and said she was heading back that way, and she's going to check it out. So then that's when she eventually pulled up on the scene, and she called me, and I'm not even sure where I was, somewhere past Harleyville, I think, or somewhere in that, I don't know, on I-26. So I turned around and got back here as fast as I could. Because she said she saw Katie's truck parked by the train tracks, and that's when I knew that was her,
Did Who's told you what happened? Has anybody told you what happened with Katie?
Not really. I mean, I kind of heard some stuff from family and
What family?
I guess Katie's mom and other people, I guess, who watched or seen stuff on the news, or I don't know if y'all, I don't know who actually talked to her, maybe, but
Can you remember what they told you?
that River had drowned or is in the water, and that Katie got hit by the train. I mean, that's kind of all I really knew. And her car was parked somewhere on Oakley Road, and that's kind of all I knew for. That's kind of all I know still, I guess. They said River wasn't, no marks or anything. She was drowned, and that Katie got hit by a train. That's kind of.
Did Katie always wear her wedding bands?
She did, and that's when I knew. Because I didn't know what to think when I first heard that. I mean, I was like, suicide or, I don't know, crazy. Maybe she was, somebody really was after her or whatnot. But when I didn't know that until y'all came to our house. I don't even know what day that was. Y'all came and talked to us with her family, my family, at my house. And y'all said her wedding rings were in her pants pocket or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Because sometimes she just get emotional or whatever, and she'd start trying to say that I don't love her and I don't think she's beautiful and all that kind of stuff. And she would actually, she'd grab like a pill bottle or something out of the cabinet and let me hear. You know, I'd hear it. She'd make it to where it was.
This moment reveals a pattern of manipulative behavior, where the subject uses the threat of self-harm not to die, but to seek reassurance. In clinical terms, this is a parasuicidal gesture, a cry for help, or an attempt to provoke a caring response from a partner. It indicates profound emotional instability, fear of abandonment, and a distorted way of measuring love through crisis. This foreshadows the later tragedy, where the boundary between gesture and genuine intent may have collapsed.
And she'd lock herself in the bathroom like she's gonna kill herself or something. She'd try to test you, I think, to see if you cared about her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that she did that a couple of times, and she would take her wedding rings off and throw them at me or put them on a. She'd show, like to see if I cared, I guess.
I understand. Did you love her?
Yes.
Did you love your child?
Yes, I love my child. And when y'all told me that, I guess from what I know so far that she had done it because she had felt like she was saying that I didn't believe her and I didn't love her before she left, and then I guess she took her rings off and then did whatever she did, I guess. I mean, I don't, as far as I know, that's what I know. I mean, that's when I kind of felt like, okay, I guess she did do it because.
Well, listen, we're both men, but I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who ruled the roost around that house?
I mean, we're both kind of more easygoing people, but I'm kind of more stubborn, so I kind of, I kind of get my way more, I guess, because she'll back down, because I'm kind of stubborn person sometimes. But,
Okay.
I mean, I guess me, we're both very like, what do you want to do? No, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Kind of, easy going. We're both pretty easy going.
Oh, that's good. How about on the big decisions?
As far as
monetary things.
Oh, that was done between both of us. And
that's good.
Pretty much everything we did together. I mean, we fish together, we make decisions together. Everything. As far as what color we paint the house, or like that house, it was an old house, we bought that. you know, almost 2 years ago now, I guess. And it, we completely ripped the whole thing out and remodeled it, and every decision down to the floors and the paint and the blinds and everything we did together. So I mean, as far as that goes, any kind of decision we did together, even down to buying a boat or anything like that. Because I'm more of like the be by myself type person, and she's like to have a bunch of people around and bring her whole family kind of thing. So she always wants a pontoon boat, and I want these little sneak boats where you put one person in there, you know what I'm saying? So it was always like this. She wanted a pontoon boat, and I wanted a bass boat or something, you know.
So how would you characterize you guys' relationship? Was it good? Was it fair? What was your marriage like?
It was it was very good. We were like best friends, that type of thing. Uh, Talked a lot. I mean, we told each other everything, and it was very open, honest, and like a friend, type friendship type, you know, intimate friendship relationship. I mean, rarely. I'm not sure we were. I mean, we didn't really like fight. Like I said, it was just more or less we're both exhausted, and you get crabby, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. We never argued really about. Never any kind of big fight or anything that lasted for more than just whatever until we went to bed or whatever, just sleep or whatever.
Anything else you could think of on the night that she left that you think would be important for us?
Kenny came up with this, and that's what I was asking you about. Is it possible for the train to suck her in as far as air pressure?
Kenny is being
That is Vicky's brother.
And he's the guy from Massachusetts or something like that.
He's from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Okay.
Because it's just hard to comprehend that, kind of that split second, that somebody who said they're protecting their kids is going to go out there and do that. Because I was in the shower around 8. They said they saw her truck around, I guess, 8:30, from what I've heard, just via the grapevine or whatever. So that means that basically she left the house. This is what's hard for me. She took the money. I think she had the green diaper bag with her and a bottle. So she was planning on survival. And just in that, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes it takes to get down to Oakley, she changed her mind about, or I don't know what you really call that.
Well, when you say she took stuff for survival, do you know if she took any coats?
She had a coat on all day, and I don't think River didn't have a coat on when she was in the house. And from what I heard, she didn't have a coat on out there.
I know you hadn't been at the house much, and you haven't probably looked around much, but does River have one coat? Does she have several coats?
She's got several. That's why, if she had one in the car, I don't even know.
So would you notice if any one particular coat was missing or not?
Because she's got several. And, don't know. She's got a lot of clothes and stuff. And she has a lot of toys, so I don't even know what really she had or whatnot.
So what you're telling me is, if I'm reading between the lines, and correct me if I'm wrong, and please interject, because, I want to know what your thoughts are. So your thoughts are that apparently you must have heard something that leads you to believe, somebody must have said something to you that leads you to believe she might have committed suicide or something of that nature.
Well, because I've heard about the postpartum depression, and postpartum psychosis, which is more like quick. It's not like a long, because that's why I couldn't understand how she did it, because she was perfectly, from what I saw, stable until, I guess, Tuesday. And that's what was hard for me to swallow, because until I heard about that postpartum psychosis, which I don't really know. I read one article on it, so I don't really know exactly what that is, but which you can kind of snap quick.
He is trying to understand how a woman who was perfectly stable until Tuesday could be gone by Wednesday night. Postpartum psychosis is rare, about 1 in 1,000 new mothers, but it is swift. It can transform a loving, protective parent into someone who hears voices, believes her family wants to take her children, and in the most tragic cases, this moment is the speaker's painful acknowledgement that mental illness does not give you time to prepare.
And now, who told you about that? Just for curiosity's
My
sake.
sister and her husband, she's from California, before she flew down for the funeral or whatever, they had done a lot of research on it, I guess, just to try to figure out what happened, and she brought some articles. I hadn't had a chance to read them yet, except for just one while I was in the car.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think happened?
Well, that's why I was asking you about. I don't know what happened. That's why I was asking you about the possibility of that force of the wind current from the train.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking she left the house and she got paranoid of me. So she knew as soon as I got out of the shower I'm gonna try to find her. So maybe she pulled down Oakley, which I don't ever go down there unless I'm going to the dump, and parked her truck. Got out of the truck to try to leave the truck because she figured, eventually we're gonna try to find the truck through, police or whatever, search the license plate and all that stuff to try to find her because we're worried about her. And maybe, this is just a theory, I guess, but she got out of the truck to get away from the truck, and she wanted to walk down the train tracks to kind of get away from any way people could find her, I guess, And her parents' house is only like 0.8 of a mile from where she was.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the barn clear as day back there. So we're just trying to figure if maybe she was trying to get to her parents' house without leaving a vehicle there, or something crazy like that. And somehow she didn't intentionally get hit by the train. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible, but
Do you think anyone was after her?
I don't think so.
You think it was all...
I think it was in her head. The thing that's confusing to me is it's completely irrational what she was saying, but rationally, those 4 times or so on Wednesday that she came to talk to me, she was worried about somebody coming after her, and she said she felt like that gut feeling like she's gonna die tonight or be killed tonight is what she said. So she left me with that mother instinct of protecting the kids. When she took money and all this other stuff, it's hard for me to say 15 minutes later she stood, and it must take you 15, 20 minutes to walk that far down the tracks in the black ice cold rain, and then you gotta watch the light come at you for however long until the train comes at you. That takes a lot of guts that's a hard way to do it. So I don't know. That's just hard for me to, I don't know. I don't really know what happened, I guess. Because, I tried the night, I think it's Thursday night, I went out there about 8:30 just to try to process this, and I walked partially down there, and I was like, good night, I couldn't even walk down there, because it's eerie, So I just don't see how, because she's not like I don't know. It takes a lot of something to get the nerve up to watch those headlights come at you for that long and stand there and not move.
Do you have anything to do with your wife's death?
No.
Do you have anything to do with your child's death?
No.
If you knew what happened, would you tell us?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to know what happened. And that's why I'm just thinking through any kind of anything. Because, I mean, I know this is just, like you said, crazy ideas or whatever. Because her eyes aren't very good, and she didn't have her glasses, because I found those in the kitchen. And when she drives at night, it's just like big, blurry fuzzballs. So I don't know if maybe she was trying to make it across that bridge. She didn't realize how close the train was, and that bridge is so skinny that she was on the bridge and didn't realize how fast the train was coming for some reason, and then she didn't intend. I want to know, just for me, whether or not she did it on purpose. I guess that's what, for me to have closure, I guess. I want to know if she literally, because some people say, I mean, I don't know whether she threw River in the water or River got hit and choked into the water from the blow, or that's why I was trying to ask you about if River was in the water at that bridge, because I can see how maybe.
No, we'll talk about all that, and any questions you got, I hope I can answer for you, if I can. But I just wanted to know what you thought and what happened that night.
I don't know. I mean, and like I said, it takes a lot of gusto, or whatever you want to call it, to even walk out there. And then to sit there and watch a train come at you, and then kind of.
He is trying to reconcile two images of his wife, the mother who took money in a diaper bag to survive, and the woman who stood on train tracks in the cold rain. Psychologically, this contradiction is the core of suicidal ambivalence. She wanted to protect her children, and in her deluded mind, her own death might have seemed like the ultimate protection. The act of watching the headlights approach, second after second, requires a profound override of the survival instinct. He cannot understand it because a healthy mind cannot fully comprehend the grip of psychosis.
I mean, I don't really know. I haven't seen the autopsy thing, but they said, she wasn't. I mean, obviously she wasn't like mutilated or something, so she wasn't standing directly, from what I can tell, in front of the train, or why would you half stand in front of there, or not lay on the tracks if you're that serious?
Well, there's a lot of questions that, there's a few questions to be answered. There's no doubt about that. But, and we have some of the same questions you have that we still got the answer, but we're working on those. Is there anything else you think we might need to know? Let me ask you this. If down the road we find out that an individual has actually killed them, what do you think should happen to them?
I mean, I believe in the death penalty myself, but they don't seem to do that anymore. Very much. But.
Well, that's an honest answer. So you'd want to see, if someone killed your wife and child, you'd want to see them put to death?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you?
I would.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. How about let's go get something to drink? I need a coffee. How about you?
All right.
And we'll go by and see if we can answer some of these questions for you. Fair enough?
Yeah.
The Berkeley County Sheriff reopened the case and publicly named Aaron Major the sole suspect, stating that the SC theory was no longer viable. He has never been charged. As of today, the original death certificate still lists Katie's manner of death as suicide, and the case remains officially unsolved.